So you're thinking about new siding for your Michigan home. This isn't just about picking a new color. It's about arming your house against everything our state throws at it. We're talking lake effect snow, freezing rain, crazy summer storms, the whole 9 yards. Honestly, it's one of the most critical decisions you can make to protect your biggest investment. So let's dive into what you really need to know to get it right.
And that really gets to the heart of the matter for every single Michigan homeowner, doesn't it? It's this constant battle. How do you find siding that looks amazing, but can also actually survive our brutal freeze-thaw cycles year after year? It's a true balance between curb appeal and pure survival.
All right, let's kick things off with the fun part, the colors. Because what we're seeing for 2026 is a huge shift in the whole vibe of home exteriors.
You know, for the past decade, it's been gray, gray, and more gray. Cool, stark grays were everywhere. But that's changing. We're now seeing this massive move toward richer, warmer tones, colors that really feel connected to the natural beauty of Michigan's own landscapes.
First up, check this one out. It's a gorgeous, deep green from Dunn Edwards called Midnight Garden. It's so earthy and dramatic. And you know what's great about a color like this in Michigan? It looks absolutely stunning against a blanket of snow. Plus, it does a pretty good job of hiding that winter grime that gets splashed up on the house. Next, we've got Universal Khaki from Sherwin-Williams. This is one of those warm, timeless neutrals that just works with pretty much any landscape. It's the perfect choice if you're going for that modern farmhouse look that feels cozy and inviting. You know, not cold and sterile.
And rounding out our top 3 is Warm Eucalyptus from Valspar. It's another one of those soft, nature-inspired greens that just brings a really calm, organic feel to a home. You're seeing the pattern here, right?
Exactly. There's actually a term for this trend, and the source material calls it biophilic. It's kind of a fancy word, but it just means we're craving a stronger connection to the natural world. We want our homes to feel like a sanctuary, something that reflects the forests, the lakes, and the fields right outside our door.
Now, a beautiful color is a great start, for sure. But here in Michigan, that color has got to last. And that brings us to what is probably the most critical decision you're going to make, the siding material itself. So, let's get into the great siding showdown.
For most of us here, the choice really boils down to these two heavyweights, standard vinyl siding on one side and James Hardie Fiber Cement on the other. So, what is fiber cement? Well, think of it as this super tough composite material made of cement, sand, and cellulose fibers, all pressed together to be incredibly durable. Let's see how they stack up, head to head.
Okay, so this table lays it all out. Right away, you can see fiber cement has a much longer lifespan. But for us Michigan homeowners, the really key row is this one right here, freeze-thaw defense. See, standard vinyl can get really brittle and even crack in our extreme cold. But James Hardie actually has a product called HZ5 that's specifically engineered for our climate. Plus, it's non-combustible and woodpecker-proof. And then, look at the return on investment. Fiber cement just gives you a much bigger bang for your buck.
Let's just pause on that lifespan for a second. 50+ years. For a lot of people, that means this is a once-in-a-lifetime project. You do it once, you do it right, and then you're done.
And that brings us back to the money. Recouping around 80% of what you spent when you sell your house, that is one of the highest returns you can get on any major home renovation. It's not just an expense, it's a serious investment in your home's actual value.
So this question comes up all the time, and it's a fair one. The short answer is yes, it absolutely can. Especially if it's a lower quality vinyl or it wasn't installed perfectly, it can become brittle and crack in those sub-zero temps. It's a real risk you have to think about.
Okay, so let's zoom out for a second and look at the bigger financial picture. How does a siding project actually stack up against other popular home renovations you might be thinking about?
This chart tells a really clear story. Here in Michigan, exterior projects like fiber cement siding and new windows, they consistently give you a higher return on your investment than big interior projects like a major kitchen remodel. And the reason is pretty simple. They protect the entire structure of your house from our crazy weather. And this table just hammers that point home. Siding, roofing, and windows, these are the projects that make up what's called your home's exterior envelope. And they are by far the smartest financial moves for Michigan homeowners. They protect your investment from the elements, all while boosting curb appeal and even energy efficiency. Okay, so this next point is absolutely crucial. You can pick the most amazing, climate-engineered, top-of-the-line material in the world, but if it's installed incorrectly, none of that matters. Finding a qualified professional installer is everything.
So how do you find a good one? Well, you can break it down into 3 simple steps. First, always verify their licensing and, this is important, their manufacturer certifications. Second, compare the materials and warranties they offer. Are they using the real deal? And finally, check their reviews and just get a feel for their communication style. Do they actually listen to you?
So, after all of this, it really comes down to one big question you have to ask yourself. Beyond just a color or a specific material, what does your home's exterior truly need to be? Does it need to be a fortress against winter, a statement of your personal style, a long-term financial asset? The best choice is probably some combination of all 3.
So whether you're focused on style, survival, or your investment, there really is a siding solution out there that's right for your Michigan home. This explainer was based on data and trends from the experts at Community Construction and James Hardie. Thanks for tuning in.